was popping out. You know how we used to talk about, like, yo, there's a Lil Durk curse? There was a way to reason our way out of that, where Lil Durk came from. Even people that he wasn't cool with had either passed away or sat down in prison. But is there a No Jumper curse? Because No Jumper's last star, really, you could say this new guy that they've got is also an up-and-coming star, but their premier guy, 4Extra, is, I want to avoid making any wild comments. It might be over for him. And there is a popular character in a very popular TV series that I think we can draw direct parallels to 4Extra in this situation. So a little bit of a background on 4Extra. I would say he was the biggest guy after Crip Mac. So if you guys remember Crip Mac, he was about as crippin'. Yeah, he's throwing up those numbers, 5-5, all that other stuff. 4Extra, he came in the game, and let me just play you guys the clip that encapsulates him into a very, very short, less than 2 minutes.
What's the most amount of fades you had to run back to back to back to back?
I got 10 fades one time.
Damn.
I caught 10 fades one time. Another time, I got 9 fades.
You gotta be tired as hell by the end of that.
Hell no.
Damn.
No.
You ain't tired after
no,
10 fades?
No, hell no. I'm tripping. I'm working out every day. I'm tripping. I'm off the back. I'm tripping regardless. I'm off the back tripping. I'm coming in there looking for him. So no, hell no. I came in that motherfucker. I caught 10 fades one. I went into the module on the 4,000 floor. I got 10 fades off the back. Went up in there. I told him like, where you from? Oh, bam. I'm like, how many of y'all in here? Well, bring them all. He brought 10.
That's basically who 4Extra is. I'm big, I fight a lot. However, there is an interesting aspect to 4Extra that a Crip Mac or other characters on No Jumper didn't have, which is this guy was completely sober. So he would not drink. I don't think he's ever drank. I don't know if he has or hasn't, but I know for sure that he doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do any drugs. All he does is gang activity and fighting and going to jail. And he had been in and out of jail frequently, even after his stint at No Jumper, because after he was out, I think it was on bond or parole or some sort of situation, he decided to hang out for his hood day and he got locked up again, and people decided to blame Adam 22 for that. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, but he was very happy for July 4th. He was excited. People shoot up fireworks. July 4th, Independence Day for the United States from the British, and I'm just gonna play you guys a clip showing his excitement.
Avenue, nigga. You know, then you know. On Vernon Avenue, if you know, then you know. On Vernon Ave, if you know, then you know. On Vernon Ave, if you know, then you know. If you know, then you know. I'm about to blow somebody else up tonight. I'm about to blow somebody else up. I'm gonna throw this mother. I'm about to blow somebody else up. I don't know who else I'm gonna blow up, but I'm blowing somebody else up. On Vernon Avenue, I'm blowing something up. Yeah, Vernon Avenue, nigga. You see this mother. Vernon Ave. Fuck me, I'm blowing something up today, nigga. Told her, nigga, stop playing on Vernon Ave, nigga. Vernon Avenue. I'm about to blow a nigga up. On the nigga. Dead homies, nigga. It's the 4th, I'm about to blow a nigga up. Who nigga blowing up today, nigga? Wrong with the nigga off the back, I'm blowing a nigga up. Stop playing CDs, nigga. I'm throwing them in your house. I'm throwing them at you, nigga. Vernon Avenue, nigga, off the back. I'm blowing your ass up. I'm blowing somebody up today.
Well, this excitement was probably a little bit too exciting because, and this is a crazy premonition because you can hear him talking about, yo, I'm about to boom somebody up. Oh, we're going to throw this in someone's house. Just manifesting this outward violence and dark energy. And I sound a little bit of a hippie, which I'm not, but there are certain times, like certain synchronicities, certain things you see happen where you're like, whoa, this just cannot be a coincidence. It can't. You can't have this many coincidences in a row. So he's putting this out there, and then what happens? Well, this pic starts going viral, which I'm not going to show you guys, and it's just a ton of blood and him looking down and him holding his hand. It looks like a scene from a movie, like something that they would turn into an NFT if this was still 2021, or like one of those photos that we still get from, I don't know, like the 60s when they say Will Chamberlain did a 100-point game. And we get news that he had blown his hand off. And then we also got more news from Adam 22 giving some context on the situation, which I'm going to play you guys right now.
So basically, 4Extra, 4th of July, is hanging out with a bunch of his friends in front of like a shopping center where they're all hanging out. There's like a short that I posted yesterday of him doing some high kick thing, and he basically had a handful of fireworks, and he was about to let one off. Didn't actually get out of his hand. Apparently those fuses burn a lot faster than you would think. And it blew his hand off. And there's more bad news, which is that the true extent of his injuries, I don't think has really 100% been revealed yet. I'm not really at liberty to say exactly what, but definitely there's more to come in terms of like all the stuff that has happened to him as a result of this. But also, I'm not sure 100% who the friend was, but he was with one of his friends, and his friend allegedly like blew half his face off, which I haven't seen any evidence of this or whatever, but yeah, that's all we know right now. He's in surgery right now, off pain meds for like the first time in his entire life. And I'll keep you guys updated, but that's all we know right now.
So this was the first context that he gave. He would later tell us that he in 4 Extra went blind. I imagine this was probably the most vulnerable and terrified that this guy had been in his entire life. Because what are you going to do? Fight for sight? You can't do that. He was probably in such insane shock. He can't see anything. Imagine thinking, keep in mind, your hand just detonated and you cannot see. I think the scarier part is not being able to see, because you can't even see your hand or what's left of it. But they also said that someone that was with him had their face blown off. And of course, no one cares about that guy because he's not out there entertaining us in a way that's self-destructive and destructive to everyone around him. But with 4 Extra, they put out this GoFundMe. I think they're trying to raise $30,000. Adam22 gave them $1,000. Traplo Ross gave them $500. A lot of people were coming at Adam22 saying, you're only giving this guy $1,000? This guy's your biggest star. I don't know what the GoFundMe is for. I'm guessing this guy doesn't make much money, so shouldn't whatever his operation is be covered. But we got more information from Adam22 about what happened, and it's even worse than you could possibly imagine. This guy was in a car lighting these huge fireworks, which this is really dynamite that he had in his hand. This is not firework. When was the last time you saw somebody in a car? When was the last time you lit anything in a car? Other than you guys that like to, it's not wake and bake. It's, what is it? It's not smoke and drive either. It's hotbox. Yeah, there we go. I know my terminology. So you guys that like to hotbox, but think about it. Lighting a firework in a car and then throwing it out. Like, this is Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, like that type of channel, Roadrunner, that type of channel, comedy in a cartoon. That's where you would see a behavior like this. Like, number one, lighting it and holding it is already bad enough. But lighting it and holding it and thinking you're going to toss it outside of the window of a car is just, oh my God. Oh my goodness. But the problem here is a lot of people were laughing. They were like, yo, this guy's done, because his whole mystique, his whole allure, and his whole selling point is that he catches these fades, and he is right-handed, yes. So he's knocking all these people out. But you know what this reminds me of? Have any of you guys ever watched Game of Thrones? If you haven't, spoiler alert, skip the next 2 to 3 minutes. You should watch this. But for those of you that have, there was this character, and this is why I think this is a great opportunity for 4 Extra and No Jumper after he gets out of the hospital. There was a character by the name of Jaime Lannister. So Jaime Lannister was known as like the best swordsman alive in Westeros, which is the area, which is one of the areas inside Game of Thrones. And he was also like the youngest guy that was brought into the King's Guard. I think he was a teenager. The King's Guard is the people that protect the king. You know, they're all fighting Game of Thrones. So he was the king of Westeros. And I think that was his dad, Tywin Lannister. So he was him. Same thing with 4 Extra. They're like, yo, this guy got caught 10 fades back to back. Well, what happened to Jaime, and Jaime was right-handed, when he was a prisoner of this lady named Brienne of Tarth, this gigantic woman that she's a fighter as well, but they got captured, both of them. So he was a prisoner of hers, and then they both got captured by somebody else who was loyal to House Bolton. House Bolton, you could say that they were ops. They were fighting for the throne. And what happened is, after Jaime Lannister, who's a very cocky, brash, just a guy that can infuriate you, and it's very infuriating because they also know that Jaime Lannister could whoop them if need be. If they got into a sword fight, they were getting cooked, similar to 4 Extra. So what this guy did to him is he cut his hand off after Jaime tried to negotiate for his freedom. He was like, listen, I'll give you this amount of gold. And I don't remember the exact details. This is hazy. This is maybe 10 years ago I watched this. He cuts off his hand. Now the guy just completely loses his identity. He was a fighter. He was a swordsman. He was respected for his hand. And then now he had no hand. So this was like the first time in life where he has to encounter this vulnerability and really look back and say like, yo, what is my identity? Who am I? What are my priorities? What do I focus on? And this guy was into some nasty stuff. Like he was smashing his own sister and they had a kid together and all this other stuff. But now he's tried to start fighting with his left hand, which was pitiful compared to his right hand. Even later in the show, he's not a fighter anymore. But it changed him permanently. Like he stopped being that really cocky guy and he became a lot more empathetic, a lot more compassionate, a lot more honorable. Like before he wouldn't have any problem snaking somebody. So you get to see this character transformation that started off with him losing this hand, which was his greatest power and his greatest asset. And you go from kind of hating the guy into seeing him as a hero. And this is the opportunity that 4 Extra has. So if 4 Extra comes out, and this is the thing, you're not fading people back to back with a nub on your hand, if that's the case. And they're not reattaching fingers. Like it's not like, oh, this guy just accidentally sliced his finger with a knife. Like it detonated. It exploded. The guy lost half his face next to him. I'd be surprised if they were able to put anything together. So if he comes out on the same energy that he went in, then that's really unfortunate. It's not going to work. It's just going to turn him into a joke. But there is potential for us to maybe see an opportunity for him to become a Jaime Lannister type character. Would that be able to survive on No Jumper, knowing the brand that they have? I don't know. But I just thought that this was a really cool parallel. That was the first thing that came to my mind that nobody's talked about yet. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.